Is that where you want me to be? In the middle there?
Yeah, right there is the sweet spot. That's where we're at. So
Okay.
I'm just going to, whenever you're ready to start, your phone's off? Yeah.
Okay. Hi, welcome to Pain and Bread Quarterly's Slush Pile. This is a very special edition, episode 5.5. I'm Kathleen Volkmiller, and I am alone in the studio because I'm going to bring to you a special podcast from AWP. And I just lied. I'm not alone in the studio. I'm never alone in the studio. I have Joe Zhang, the wonderful producing engineer, and bonus Joe today for this bonus episode, a co-op here at Drexel University. So we needed to do something while we were at AWP. I mean, Associated Writing Programs Conference gets 12,000 people this year, breaking all records year after year, growing exponentially. And some people actually complain about the crowds and the insanity. And all of us at PBQ have chosen to celebrate the fact that 12,000 people came together to celebrate and rejoice in the written word. It can be really overwhelming for people. There were between 600 and 800 small presses and literary magazines and university presses there. And I don't even know how many concurrent events. I should have counted them for you. But let's say about 15 per time session. So it's intense. I've chosen to pretty much clock out of all of that and stay at the book fair. And the reason why is I love to just talk to people that are there. I love when authors come up to me and talk to me about what issue they were published in or how long it's taken us to get back to them. And I was handing out stickers on our slush pile. And I love that kind of human interaction. Whenever I'm standing there, magical things happen every hour or so. And I think to myself, now, if I had been at a panel, I would have missed this moment. So Marion enjoys it too, and we spend most of our time there. And we were thinking on our way out, we flew to LA together, even though we've visited more than 15 different cities together. We never, ever have gotten on a plane together. So this was the first time. And we talked about the podcast a lot on our way and what we should do while we were in LA for the podcast, because we knew we had to do something. And we decided that, some people go through some existential angst when they're at AWP. It's a reflective moment. And people start to look around and say, why don't I have a little stack of books? Why aren't I on 3 panels and giving 2 readings and getting a award today? And they start questioning themselves. So Marion, with the generous heart that she has, thought, what can we do that will help authors realize the value of their own work, understand that they're there for a reason too, and their work has literary merit. So we came up with a really simple question, and it is, what are you writing? So every time we thought of it in that melee that I'm describing to you, we would ask people that were chatting with us, so what are you writing? And hit the record button. And I'm not sure at all how any of the audio turned out, but I'm sure it's great. So listen in to the book fair floor at AWP in LA 2016.
My name's Erin Slaughter, and I write poetry, fiction, nonfiction. Right now I'm working on a lot of fiction, and I'm actually putting together a book of short stories. The story I'm most excited about right now is called What's Left When It Goes, and it is about a relationship that's failing at a Chinese restaurant. So, yeah, check it out.
Think about it.
Okay. So what are you writing?
Well, right now I'm writing a story. It's a ghost story, actually.
Ooh.
About a man in I think he's it's 1940s, and he moves his house from Virginia to California, and he dies in his swimming pool. And then the story shifts to the present, and that's where I am right now. But he's a ghost. He hasn't yet started to haunt things, but he's going to start haunting soon, and that's the one thing that I know.
Terrific. And what's your name again?
I'm Jacob Garber.
All right. Good luck with the story.
Yeah, thank you.
Supposed to be writing all of it, whatever you like.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Michael Hecht, and I'm writing a book called The Wonder Paradox, Uses of Poetry in Everyday Life, and for Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. And I keep writing these little pieces of nonfiction that I don't know what to do with, and I just store them into my computer and get back to work. So, yeah, I'm looking for some place to put them.
So what are you working on?
My name is Jean-Michael Blomquist. I'm a poet from Richmond, Virginia. This is Poetry for Trash. What we do is we go to rivers and public parks and we set up a sign that looks like this and it asks the question, how much trash is poetry worth? So step one, you pick a poem. So you open up the heart, that's where the poems are. And step two, you pick up the amount of trash you think it's worth, grab the little bag here. And then step three, you give your own poems for trash by adding it to the sign. So far we've picked up about 2 dumpsters worth of trash and given away hundreds to thousands of poems. Follow our work at poetryfortrash.com and see how you could add one of these to your city or public park.
Thank you. It is really so.
Hi, I'm Ken Piancos, and I'm on faculty at Antioch University here in Los Angeles.
Very nice. What are you writing?
I am writing a trilogy, a young adult trilogy, and my central character, the protagonist, was born in 1984 with HIV. So he watched his parents die one at a time and then finally his grandmother. And to sustain and survive this really terrific guy who calls himself Sue and paints his toenails, has conjured imaginary characters, has created kind of a Phantom Tollbooth sort of guy, or Walter Mitty's fantasies, and gets through life.
Wow.
Or at least the circumstances of the day with this set of imaginary characters. Brings us to a terrific resolution. He falls in love, and in part 2, we're going to see his young adult life form.
Wow. Fabulous. Just tell me your name and tell me what you're writing.
I'm Matt Longabuco. I'm writing tiny poems that are just whatever they are, and it's stressful because I like to have a project. And I don't. I just have these little fragments, and they're not part of a big thing that all goes together. So I'm just like facing down the one-page poem. Does anyone still like the one-page poem? That's what I'm going to find out.
Just tell me your name and then tell us what you're writing.
This is Maud L. Driscoll, and I'm working on a series of poems about the transgender experience and its link with nature. It's very good right now because a number of the species that I'm examining will begin to come out in the North Country where I live. Very excited about it, and spring's been a great time for my writing in the past, and I feel like it's really going well this year.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, good luck with it.
Thanks.
Tell me your name and tell me what you're writing.
Okay, good. Now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Pete. My name is Peter Shearson. I'm a poet, and I have been listening to a lot of jazz, instrumental jazz, and I find myself saying, God, I wish I could write a poem like that. So I'm trying to write poems. I'm trying to turn the left side of my brain off and let it take a nap and just write poems with that kind of feeling. That's what I'm doing.
Thank you. Terry Ann Thaxton. And what are you working on? What are you writing?
I'm working on a series of prose poems that I think is more like a flash sequence. A little bit different from what I'm usually working on.
Thanks. You're recording. Ready? Go.
Hi, my name's Tiff Holland, and I'm writing a collection of linked flash nonfiction pieces called Paradise with Jets. It is a collection of flashes that involve moving from Round Rock, Texas to Honolulu, Hawaii, which is, of course, paradise, but accidentally moving directly under the path of all the planes that land in Hawaii, mostly land on landing strip 8B. So it is about our life on 106th Street, directly under landing strip 8B, and our time spending hours watching a 1-hour show while we pause the television show and put on our airplane luggage handler grade earmuffs, take them off, and also getting our dog through quarantine. And quarantine's kind of a metaphor in there because there's a 120-day quarantine because they've never had rabies in Hawaii, but the law hasn't been looked at since 1906 or 1912 on it. Don't quote me on that. So I think it's 1912, and terrible conditions there. A couple dogs actually died when we first moved our Great Pyrenees there. We were very concerned about her out in the heat, and it's not even necessary. So that's kind of a working metaphor through it, and also then just the dichotomy of paradise and the technological and industrial world we live in.
Thank Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to speak. I said it myself.
Great.
What are these?
What are you writing?
Well, my name is Robbie Nestor, and I'm a poet, and I am writing a lot of things at the same time. Right now, I have a manuscript in the works that is ekphrastic without images, because I have been compiling a collaboration ekphrastic manuscript with 36 color plates for the past 3 years.
Wow.
It's gorgeous, but you can imagine it's impossible to publish because it's too expensive. So I decided that I should write about famous images without the images, because people can just look them up online or in a book.
That's a good workaround.
Yes. So I am now working on a book. At the moment, it's a chapbook, but I keep adding things to it. So I think that in a little while, it's not going to be a chapbook anymore. It's going to be a regular length book. And I'm also working on another collection of non-ekphrastic poems side by side. So I think it's going to be like being bilingual, how they say it takes you longer to learn language, but when you do, you're much more flexible. I think that's what's going on with me right now with poetry. So
wonderful.
Yeah, so the older I get, the more I write.
Oh, that's wonderful too.
Yeah.
Good news for everybody.
So before I get extinguished, I hope that there will be quite a bit of me left in the way of poetry.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
This podcast is produced through a joint venture of Drexel University's Office of Information Resources and Technology and the Painted Bride Quarterly magazine. This podcast is the property of Painted Bride Quarterly magazine. All rights reserved.